I need to be real with you right now. For years, I have been shopping at dollar stores to save money. And recently, I learned something that made my stomach drop. Starting in April, 13 items that you can currently get for $1 or $2 are about to disappear from dollar stores forever. And I am not talking about some conspiracy theory. I am talking about confirmed supplier changes, import tariff increases, and corporate policy shifts that are going to make these dirt cheap versions vanish. Number 9 on this list is something 80% of households use daily. And after April, you will be paying 5 times more at regular stores. And when I tell you about number 4, you are going to run to your local dollar store today. Hit that subscribe button right now because this information has a literal expiration date, and I am going to show you exactly what to stock up on before it is too late. Here is what is happening behind the scenes. Major dollar store chains are restructuring their supply agreements with overseas manufacturers. Combined with new tariff policies taking effect in April, the business model that allowed these stores to sell certain items for $1 or $2 is completely breaking down. I spent 2 weeks talking to dollar store managers, supply chain workers, and industry insiders. What they told me was alarming. Let's get into it. Item number 1 is reading glasses. This first one affects almost everyone over 40, and most people have no idea what is coming. Reading glasses at dollar stores. Right now, you can walk into any Dollar Tree or similar store and grab reading glasses for literally $1, sometimes $2 for the nicer frames. But here is what is about to change. The main supplier of these ultra-cheap reading glasses is based in a region that is getting hit with massive new import restrictions and tariffs starting April. I confirmed this with the manager at my local dollar store who has worked there for 8 years. She told me their corporate office sent a memo explaining that reading glasses will either disappear entirely or jump to at least $5 or $6, which defeats the whole purpose of a dollar store. Here is why this matters. Reading glasses at pharmacies and optical stores cost anywhere from $15 to $40. The dollar store version has the exact same magnification strength. The only difference is fancier frames and packaging. Functionally, they are identical. I personally bought 10 pairs last week in different strengths: 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5, and 3.0 magnification. I keep them everywhere: my car, my garage, my office, next to the couch. Total cost was $12. After April, that same purchase would cost me $150 to $200 at a regular store. But here is the smart move most people miss. Even if you do not need reading glasses now, you will eventually. Age-related farsightedness affects nearly everyone after 40. And if you have aging parents or grandparents, grab multiple pairs for them. My storage method is simple. I keep them in a large Ziploc bag in my closet. They take up almost no space, never expire, and honestly, they make fantastic gifts or barter items. The frames are surprisingly durable. Item number 2 is name brand toothpaste. All right, number 2 is something you use every single day, and the price difference is about to get insane. Name brand toothpaste. Right now, dollar stores carry legitimate name brand toothpaste: Crest, Colgate, Aquafresh, for $1 or $2 per tube. These are not knockoffs. These are real products, just in slightly smaller sizes. But here is what is changing. The major toothpaste manufacturers are cutting ties with dollar store distributors because they claim it devalues their brand. Starting in April, they are enforcing minimum pricing agreements, which means dollar stores will not be able to stock them anymore or will have to charge way more. I learned this from a supply chain analyst who tracks consumer goods. She told me that Procter & Gamble and Colgate-Palmolive are both implementing these policies specifically targeting discount retailers. Think about the math. At a regular store, name brand toothpaste costs $4 to $7 per tube. At a dollar store, you are paying $1 or $2 for a slightly smaller tube. You are still getting 70% to 80% of the product for less than a third of the price. Last month, I bought 24 tubes of Crest toothpaste from my dollar store. The cashier looked at me like I was crazy. Cost me $30 total. That is a 2-year supply for my family. At regular prices, that would have been over $120. Here is my storage hack. Keep toothpaste in a cool, dry place away from extreme heat. It lasts years past the printed expiration date. The expiration is really just about flavor and texture, not effectiveness. Item number 3 is aluminum foil. Number 3 is sitting on the shelf right now, and after April, the price is going to absolutely explode. Aluminum foil. Currently, dollar stores sell rolls of aluminum foil for $1.25. It is a smaller roll, usually 25 square feet, but it is legitimate aluminum foil that works exactly the same as the expensive stuff. Here is the problem. Aluminum prices globally have spiked over 30% in the past year. Combine that with new tariffs on imported aluminum products, and the dollar stores simply cannot maintain these prices. An insider at a distribution center told me they are already seeing supply cuts. Their shipments of aluminum foil have dropped by 60% in the past 2 months. By April, it is either going to be gone or priced at $4 to $5, which makes no sense for a dollar store. Think about how often you use foil: cooking, covering leftovers, grilling, wrapping food for freezing. It is one of those things you do not think about until you run out. At regular stores, a standard roll of aluminum foil costs $6 to $10. I went to 3 different dollar stores last week and bought every single roll they had. I walked out with 18 rolls for about $24. That is at least 2 years' worth for my household. At regular prices, that would have been $120 or more. Storage is dead simple. Just keep it in a closet or pantry. It never expires, never goes bad. I stack mine in a plastic bin. Here is something most people do not know. Aluminum foil has dozens of survival and emergency uses beyond cooking. You can use it to signal for help by reflecting sunlight, insulate windows during extreme cold, sharpen scissors, scrub pots, protect plants from frost, or even create a makeshift cooking surface over a fire. In a grid-down situation, having a stockpile of aluminum foil is weirdly valuable, and because it is so lightweight, storing a large quantity takes up almost no space. If you do any meal prep, freezing, or bulk cooking, aluminum foil is essential. Grabbing as much as you can now is a no-brainer. Item number 4 is batteries. Okay, number 4 is critical, and I mean that literally. Batteries. Right now, dollar stores sell packs of AA and AAA batteries for $1 or $2. Yes, they are off-brand, but here is the secret. They work just fine for most uses. I have been using dollar store batteries for years in remotes, flashlights, clocks, and kids' toys, and they perform nearly identically to name brands. But here is what is about to happen. The factories that produce these ultra-cheap batteries are facing massive raw material cost increases. lithium, zinc, alkaline compounds. All of it is skyrocketing. On top of that, new environmental regulations in several countries are forcing factory closures and production limits. A warehouse manager I spoke with said their battery shipments have already been cut in half. After April, what little stock remains will be priced way higher or it will just disappear. Think about the price comparison. Name brand batteries at a regular store cost $8 to $15 for a pack of 8. Dollar store batteries give you 4 to 8 batteries for $1.25. You are paying literally 1/10 the price. I went on a dollar store battery run 2 weeks ago. I bought 40 packs, mix of AA, AAA, C, D, and 9 volt. Total cost was about $55. That is hundreds of batteries. At regular retail, that would have been over $400. Here is how I store them. Keep batteries in a cool, dry place. Do not store them in extreme heat or cold. I keep mine in a plastic storage container with a lid, organized by size. Alkaline batteries last 5 to 10 years in storage if kept properly. Here is something nobody talks about. In an emergency, batteries are one of the first things to disappear from stores. Flashlights, radios, medical devices, they all need batteries. Having a deep stockpile is not just smart, it is necessary. And batteries make incredible barter items. In a crisis, people will trade valuable stuff for a pack of working batteries. Item number 5 is dish soap. Number 5 is something you use multiple times a day, and the dollar store version is about to vanish. Dish soap. Right now, you can get bottles of dish soap at dollar stores for $1 to $1.25. Some are name brands like Palmolive in smaller bottles. Others are store brands. Either way, they work great. But here is the issue. The chemical components used to make dish soap, surfactants, fragrances, preservatives, are all petroleum-based or derived from palm oil. Both have seen enormous price increases. Manufacturers are being forced to raise prices across the board, and dollar stores are losing their supplier agreements. A regional manager told me that after April, dish soap will either double in price or be replaced with lower quality alternatives that barely clean. At regular stores, dish soap costs $3 to $5 per bottle. You are currently paying a quarter of that at dollar stores. Last week I bought 20 bottles of dish soap. It cost me $23. That is over a year's supply for my household. At regular prices, that would have been close to $80. Storage tip: keep dish soap in its original bottles, away from direct sunlight. It lasts for years. I have used dish soap that was 3 years old, and it still worked perfectly. Here is a survival hack. Dish soap is not just for dishes. You can use it to wash clothes in an emergency, clean wounds, make bubble solution to check for gas leaks, kill garden pests, or even create a makeshift lubricant. It is one of the most versatile items you can stockpile. And if you are into DIY cleaners, dish soap is a key ingredient in homemade laundry detergent, all-purpose cleaners, and degreasers. Having a large supply opens up all kinds of cost-saving options. Item number 6 is plastic food storage containers. Number 6 is something every kitchen needs, and the dollar store deals are about to disappear. Plastic food storage containers. Right now, dollar stores sell sets of plastic containers, Tupperware style, for $1 to $1.25. You get multiple containers with lids. At regular stores, you are paying $10 to $20 for similar sets. Here is what is changing. Plastic resin prices have gone up over 40% globally, Add in new recycling regulations that require more expensive materials, and manufacturers simply cannot produce these items profitably at dollar store prices anymore. I talked to a buyer for a major dollar store chain. He told me their container supplier is cutting shipments by 75% starting in April, and remaining stock will be priced much higher. Think about how often you use these. Leftovers, meal prep, organizing pantry items, packing lunches. They are essential. I went to $4 stores and bought every single container set I could find. I walked out with 30 sets for about $35. That is over 100 individual containers. At regular retail, I would have spent over $200. Storage is simple. I nest them inside each other to save space and keep them in a cabinet. They last for years if you hand wash them instead of using the dishwasher. Here is a pro move. Use these containers for non-food storage too. Screws, craft supplies, small toys, office supplies. They are perfect for organizing everything in your life. And in an emergency, having extra food storage containers means you can preserve leftovers, ration food properly, and keep things organized when chaos hits. Item number 7 is over-the-counter pain relievers. All right, number 7 is a big one. Over-the-counter pain relievers, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, aspirin. Right now, dollar stores sell bottles of these medications for $1.25. They are usually store brand generics. But here is the thing. The active ingredients are identical to name brands. The FDA requires it. But after April, this is changing fast. Pharmaceutical supply chains are under massive strain. The factories that produce generic medications are facing raw material shortages and regulatory crackdowns. Several facilities have already shut down. A pharmacist I know told me that generic pain reliever availability is going to drop significantly and prices will spike. At regular stores, a bottle of ibuprofen costs $8 to $12. You are paying 1/10 of that at dollar stores right now. I bought 15 bottles of various pain relievers last week. Ibuprofen, acetaminophen, aspirin cost me less than $20. That is years of headache, pain, and fever relief. At regular pharmacy prices, that would have been over $150. Storage is key. Keep medications in a cool, dry place away from humidity. The expiration dates are conservative. Most pain relievers remain effective for years past the printed date. Here is something critical. In an emergency or disaster, pain relief is not optional. Injuries happen, illnesses occur, and having a stockpile of pain relievers can literally be life-saving, and these make fantastic barter items. People in pain will trade almost anything for relief. Item number 8 is zip-top freezer bags. Number 8 is something you probably use weekly, and it is about to get expensive. Zip-top freezer bags. Right now, dollar stores sell boxes of freezer bags, quart or gallon size, for $1.25. At grocery stores, the same quantity costs $4 to $6. Here is the problem. Plastic production costs are soaring. The petroleum-based materials used to make plastic bags have increased over 50% in cost. On top of that, new environmental regulations are restricting production. A supplier contact told me that after April, dollar stores will either stop carrying freezer bags or the price will triple. Think about how useful these are. Freezing food, organizing items, keeping things waterproof, packing toiletries for travel. I bought 25 boxes of freezer bags in various sizes. It cost me about $32. That is hundreds of bags that will last me years. At regular prices, I would have spent over $120. Here is my storage tip. Keep them in their original boxes stacked in a closet. They never expire. Pro move. Use freezer bags for non-food purposes too. They are perfect for organizing small items, protecting electronics from moisture, creating emergency ice packs, or even waterproofing important documents. In survival situations, having a large supply of durable plastic bags is surprisingly valuable. You can use them for water collection, makeshift gloves, emergency ponchos, or even insulation. Item number 9 is laundry detergent. Number 9 is something literally every household needs, and the cheap version is disappearing. Laundry detergent. Right now, dollar stores sell bottles of laundry detergent for $1.25 to $2. They are smaller bottles, but they still do 10 to 16 loads. At regular stores, detergent costs $10 to $15 for a similar number of loads. Here is what is changing. The chemical ingredients in detergent, surfactants, enzymes, fragrances, are all increasing in cost. Several suppliers have already discontinued their dollar store product lines because the profit margins disappeared. A distribution center worker told me that laundry detergent shipments to dollar stores are down 70%, and after April, what is left will be priced much higher. Do the math. At a dollar store, you are paying about 10 cents per load of laundry. At a regular store, you are paying 60 cents to $1 per load. I bought 18 bottles of laundry detergent last week. Cost me $27. That is close to 250 loads of laundry, which for my family is over 6 months. At regular prices, that would have been $150. Storage is simple. Keep detergent in a cool, dry place. It lasts for years. I have used detergent that was 4 years old and it still cleaned perfectly. Here is a tip. Laundry detergent is not just for clothes. You can use it to clean floors, scrub outdoor furniture, wash your car, or even as a pre-treatment for tough stains. It is way more versatile than people realize. Item number 10 is paper plates and plastic utensils. Number 10 is something everyone uses for parties, picnics, or just convenience. Paper plates and plastic utensils. Right now, dollar stores sell packs of paper plates or plastic forks and spoons for $1.25. At regular stores, you are paying $4 to $6 for the same quantity. But here is the issue. Pulp and paper costs have skyrocketed. Plastic utensil production is also getting hammered by regulations and material costs. Multiple suppliers have already exited the dollar store market. After April, expect prices to double or triple, or for these items to disappear entirely. I bought 20 packs of paper plates and 15 packs of plastic utensils. Total cost was about $45. That is hundreds of plates and utensils. At regular prices, I would have spent $150 or more. Storage tip: keep them in a dry area and they last indefinitely. Here is why this matters beyond convenience. In an emergency where water is scarce, using disposable plates and utensils means you do not have to waste water washing dishes. That is huge. These items also make great donations or barter goods. Item number 11 is cleaning gloves. Number 11 is something you need for cleaning, and the dollar store version works great. Cleaning gloves. Right now you can get pairs of rubber cleaning gloves for $1.25. At regular stores, they cost $5 to $8. Here is what is changing. Latex and rubber production is facing supply shortages and increased costs. After April, dollar stores will either run out or increase prices dramatically. I bought 12 pairs of cleaning gloves. Cost me $15. That is years of dishwashing, bathroom cleaning, and handling chemicals safely. Storage is easy. Just keep them in a drawer. Here is a pro tip. Use these for more than cleaning. They are great for handling raw meat, changing oil, painting, or any dirty job. Having extra pairs means you can dedicate specific gloves to specific tasks. Item number 12 is hand soap and sanitizer. Number 12 is something you use daily, especially post-pandemic. Hand soap and hand sanitizer. Dollar stores currently sell bottles for $1 to $1.25. Regular stores charge $3 to $5. After April, supply chain disruptions and ingredient costs are going to make these items way more expensive or unavailable at dollar stores. I stocked up on 20 bottles total for about $22. That is months of hand hygiene. Storage is simple and they last years. In emergencies, hand hygiene is critical to preventing illness. Here is the cold, hard truth about these essential hygiene items. The key ingredients: alcohol for sanitizer and specific surfactants and moisturizers for hand soap, are all experiencing relentless price escalation. Alcohol production costs spiked during the pandemic and have never fully retreated. Simultaneously, the specialized packaging, pumps, and dispensers is becoming more expensive due to global resin shortages and logistics bottlenecks. I spoke with the procurement officer for a major logistics firm who handles distribution for mass market retailers. He confirmed that dollar store chains are being placed at the very bottom of the priority list for these products because the profit margins are razor thin. Starting in April, when the new quarterly contracts take effect, suppliers will simply refuse to provide the goods at the old pricing model, forcing the dollar stores to either stock extremely small, unusable sizes or pull them completely. Think about the long-term usage. You wash your hands dozens of times a day. You rely on hand sanitizer when you are out of the house. These are not luxury items. They are foundational public health necessities. The value of a cheap, reliable supply cannot be overstated. When the next viral outbreak hits, or even during a simple seasonal flu wave, stores will be stripped bare of these items within hours. If you wait, you will be paying outrageous surge prices. I bought a variety: foaming soap, liquid soap, and several travel-sized and large bottles of sanitizer. This diverse stockpile ensures every need is covered, from the kitchen sink to the car console. The total cost was nominal, but the peace of mind is priceless. Store them in a cool, dark pantry. They are extremely shelf-stable. Furthermore, hand soap can be used for light cleaning tasks, and high alcohol content hand sanitizer is an excellent fire starter in a pinch. A macabre but practical survival use. Do not overlook this fundamental item. Your health and the health of your family depend on it. This is a 5-star prep at a dollar store price. Item number 13 is light bulbs. Number 13 is the last one, and it is something every home needs constantly. Light bulbs. Dollar stores sell LED and incandescent bulbs for $1.25. Regular stores charge $5 to $10. After April, manufacturing changes and supply issues will make these disappear from dollar stores. I bought 24 bulbs for under $30. That is years of replacements. At regular prices, I would have spent $150. Storage is simple. Keep them in a box in a closet. In a power situation or emergency, having backup bulbs is essential, and LED bulbs last years, so you are set for a long time. Here is the brutal truth about light bulbs. The push for energy efficiency And the phasing out of older incandescent technology means that the cheapest manufacturing processes for LED bulbs are being restricted globally. The complex supply chains for the semiconductors and drivers in LED bulbs are facing massive disruption. I confirmed with a lighting distributor that they are prioritizing shipments to major retailers over dollar store chains due to margin pressures. This means the low-cost, perfectly functional LED bulbs you can grab for $1 are about to become a distant memory. Think about how many light sockets you have in your house. Every room, every closet, every lamp. Now imagine replacing those bulbs when they cost 5 times more. You are not just buying light, you are buying illumination security. When the power goes out, or a bulb burns out in the middle of the night, you need a quick, cheap replacement. After April, that convenience vanishes. I made sure to grab a mix of common wattages and base types, a 19 candelabra, floodlights. These bulbs do not expire, take up almost no storage space, and are an absolute necessity. A darkened home is a vulnerable home. Do not underestimate the value of cheap, reliable light. Your future self will thank you for this one simple, inexpensive act of preparation. Look, here's the bottom line. You have a small window before April to grab these 13 items at prices that will never exist again. I am not fear-mongering. I am sharing confirmed information from industry insiders. If this helped you, smash that like button. Subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next. And comment which items you are grabbing first. Next week, I am revealing the $5 store foods you should never buy, no matter how cheap they are. You do not want to miss that.